Guys, today we've got the top 10 sneakers dropping in September. Travis Scott and Adidas. Nike just might have killed resale forever with a new pre-order system. Welcome to the midweek re-up. We got some massive updates to go through, but before we get into the top 10 sneakers dropping next month, there are a few gems that are still happening before the end of this one. Kicking us off, tomorrow we have a release for Supreme Week 1 that actually includes a Nike collaboration. So we're getting two Air Force One lows. I mean, these are pretty much as basic as it could get. I mean, even the red ones with like the red box logo at the bottom was more creative than this. Yeah, so it's literally just black and white Air Forces, same thing with the Supreme branding. You've got the tiny little box logo there, so nothing crazy here, but I'm sure people are still going to buy these things and they're probably going to sell out. Here's a look at some of the t-shirts that are also going to be dropping for Supreme Week 1. We've got obviously the Playboy Cardi one, which has caused absolute chaos. I mean, they've like videos of people tearing down posters, probably trying to resell them. You also have this one, this one, this one, this one, and that. Now, of course, there's going to be some other items, but as of right now, we just have like a little list of everything that's going to be dropping during the fall-winter season, so not exactly sure what's specifically dropping tomorrow, but it's worth checking out if there's anything that you like the look of. There's a ton, a traffic cone. I don't need to explain this. But one of the biggest releases that is also happening tomorrow is, of course, the final chance that you're going to have of getting the Undefeated Air Jordan 4. So these are going to be dropping August the 28th, and that is through the Nike SNKRS app. However, this is insanely limited. There's about 10 to 15,000 pairs, maybe less. I'm also not entirely sure if this is going to be worldwide, because originally we did think it was going to be worldwide and it was going to be like a decent amount of pairs, but the EU and the UK did have a little exclusive access drop, I think maybe a week back. So this could just be for the US, and exclusive access goes out, and that's the only way that they drop it. With this amount of pairs, I wouldn't be surprised. They're not loaded up to the Nike SNKRS app currently, so I don't know, just check your Nike SNKRS app in the morning, pray that you got an exclusive access notification, and that's about all we can do. Another extremely limited release, which pretty much no one is going to get, is the Awake New York Jordan 5. This is the black colorway that's dropping through the Nike SNKRS app. They are loaded up globally, so wherever you are in the world, these should be available, or at least for the most part. Like I said, extremely limited. There's like a few thousand pairs, and that is it. Probably less than the Undefeated 4s. But either way, if you're after them, good luck. But now it's time to get you guys ready for September. There is actually some insane releases. I know we said this in August, and there was, but September is looking wild. So let's just get into it. These are the 10 best sneakers. Couple honorable mentions to start off with. Limousine Skateboards Nike SB Dunk Low, September 6th for these things. Wild pair of dunks. The Air Jordan 1 High Light Matter Root. This one's a very nice colorway. It should just be women's size run. However, it's like sail and then a very dark brown, almost black. These are going to be dropping September the 9th and should be loaded up to the Nike SNKRS app, if not pretty soon. Then, of course, we have the Jordan 4 Cavestone, one of the best Jordan 4s for the fall time. So it's a great colorway. I've done a review on them, so if you want to check that out, feel free. Phenomenal pair of Jordan 4s. Right, kicking us off, starting at number 10. This one's pretty interesting. We got an entire South Park Crocs collaboration. I mean, Crocs they've been doing some cool stuff. I bought the Krispy Kreme ones. I'm happy with that. But now you're getting literally a pair of shoes for almost every single character. You've got Eric Cartman Crocs over here. You got Kenny's Crocs with the fluffy inside. You got Towley, of course. Randy Marsh. General South Park theme with all of the characters in the backdrop. And then here's some other shots of the different, little gibbets and stuff like that you're going to be getting on these. Yeah, I can see a lot of people liking these. I mean, that is what Crocs are for. Ridiculous, crazy collaborations that are just fun and ironic and ugly cool. These are all going to be dropping on September the 12th. Let me know what you think about these. Taking the number 9 spot, we got the Nike Ja 3 Hustle and Flow colorway dropping September the 10th. Definitely not the best colorway that we've seen. I went through all of them. There's plenty of solid options in the pipeline, so if this one specifically doesn't speak to you, don't feel bad just waiting it out for more colorways to drop. Coming in at number 8, we got the New Balance 1000 Soleil Bembury collaboration, Fog Be the Cloud, I think they're calling it. These are going to be dropping September the 5th, and it's a very, very intricate colorway. Like, there's a lot going on. Pretty cool materials and stuff like that. Like, you got like some really nice leather over here, some wide base mesh, transparent N logo. Looks like freaking some kind of turf on the toe box, which is obviously suede. But yeah, if you like wild colorways that Soleil Bembury comes out with, I couldn't think of a better option The New Balance 1000 is a solid sneaker. 180 retail though, that's pretty expensive. Taking the number 7 spot, we got the Nike Tom Sachs Mars Yard 3.0. Now, this one is, like, the release of it is pretty confusing. Like we went over a couple weekends ago, the actual way to buy this pair of shoes was to go on the Tom Sachs website and then join summer camp, basically. So summer camp is basically like this this little thing that they have on the website where you complete like little different tasks and quizzes and stuff like that, and you move up on the leaderboard, which some people have been doing. This is what the website looks like. You can go through. I don't know if it's too late now because they do like challenges weekly, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people topping this leaderboard. Either way, September 5th is when these are actually going to drop. So if you have been partaking on this website, then yeah, I'm sure you're in the top ranks to buy them. Here's a little look at the leaderboard. What is this? Sheesh, yeah, there's a lot of people up here. Well, this one's right at the top. I'm assuming they just allocate stock, you know, like literally going from top to bottom. So I don't know what the cutoff is, how many pairs they've made, but they're probably going to be extremely limited. Now, as far as the Nike SNKRS app release, we haven't really heard anything about that, but I'm sure they will eventually drop on the Nike SNKRS app. We'll have to wait and see. $275 retail is a very tough ask if you ask me, but there you go. One of the most anticipated sneakers of the entire year is the Shay 1, or the Shy 1, however you pronounce it. The 001 Butter colorway, launching September the 4th. Now, I think these are already confirmed to be stupid limited. They're loaded up to the Nike SNKRS app. I'm not entirely sure what I've heard, but I do remember them being extremely limited. Either way, we've seen so many colorways of this pair of shoes that if you miss out on this first one, I'm sure there's going to be plenty of other opportunities to get, you know, the black one, the blue one, and the plethora of other options. But yeah, it's definitely a pair of shoes I want to get my hands on. It looks dope, and I'm just liking what Nike and Adidas are doing with their basketball sneakers. Taking the number 5 spot, we got the El Vuelo Air Jordan 3. Again, this is that pair of threes that we've been talking about for a while, where it's like inspired by Lucha Libre tradition. These are going to be dropping September the 16th. We've got official images, and it's a wild pair of threes, so be prepped for that. You got like crocodile skin on all of the places where you would normally find elephant print. You got these spikes running up the side of the shoe, gold accents, some green on the back. These things look like customs, but they're actually made by Jordan Brand, which is pretty cool. Taking the number 4 spot, we got the Nike UGG collaboration. Now, there's 2 sneakers and a bunch of different clothing pieces. We have been over this, so I'm not going to spend too much time, but essentially the most available pair of shoes that you can try and get your hands on is going to be this blue one over here. This is going to be launching globally on September the 12th. However, there is an Asia exclusive in this colorway, which is basically exactly the same. The only difference is that this is just black, white, and gray. Same scuff marks, everything like that. Then also on September the 12th, there's going to be the clothing line, which I think a lot of people are excited for. The $35 t-shirts, take a look at them. You get this one in white and black. And then of course there is the varsity jacket, another banger piece. However, it's $500. Like, oh, no, hell no. But it is cool. I will say that. Anybody who does pick it up, I'm sure you're gonna love it. It's just way out of what I'm comfortable spending on a jacket. Either way, that should be pretty much everything you need to know. Shoes are $200. I don't know if I said that or not, but yeah, a lot of people after this. I'm sure it's gonna be hard to get. And you get a little trading card, or not a trading, yeah, you get a Yu-Gi-Oh card with each pair of shoes, which is cool. But before we get into the absolutely insane top 3, it's time to pay some bills. As I'm sure a lot of you are already aware, one of my favorite clothing brands is Represent. But more recently, they've been cooking up some of the coolest collaborations with some other brands. Realtree, Puma, Oasis, and I just picked up what might possibly be my favorite. This is the 47 Represent cap collection. The details are really what sets it apart. From the perfect washed colors to the distressing, and most importantly, the fit on these caps is just perfection. It's the best I've been able to find. There's a bunch of different options and colors to choose from. Now, another collaboration that's deeply rooted in Represent's heritage is the new Guns N' Roses collection. My personal favorite, obviously, the zip-through hoodie. It pulls from the classic graphic tees that Represent has been doing for a very long time. The fading is just so good, and the quality is obviously exceptional. This hoodie has a ton of metal hardware, like, of course, you get the Represent metal bar on the pocket. It's got metal studs surrounding the cross graphic, and Represent branded double zips. Now, if you were looking for a clean, minimal pair of of sneakers to tie the whole fit together, I recommend the HDN Low. These are fully made from tumbled leather, even in the sock liner. They're comfortable and have one of my favorite details, which is the clear outsole, which really just ties the minimal look together. Now you can check these pieces out and a ton more with the links down in the description. I'll also put some of the sizing info down there as well. Huge thanks to you guys for using my links when I have them. It helps out the channel massively. And a huge thanks to Represent for supporting the channel and sponsoring this video. But let's get back to it. Taking the number 3 spot, we got the Air Jordan 5 Fire Red Black Tongue. These things are going to be dropping on the 13th of September. I told you guys, it's stacked. September is cooked. There's so many good drops. Now, this is going to be a big GR release, so they're doing a full family size run. They're also apparently going to be doing an apparel collection as well, which I don't think we have seen yet. Oh yeah, maybe we have. So you got like a little keychain. This t-shirt, which is pretty cool. That looks like puff print. Yeah, some track pants, track jacket, even a hoodie. Everything else about the pair of shoes is spot on. It's looking great. So yeah, an absolute must have, at least for me personally. But just above that, coming in at number 2, we got the Air Jordan 5 Tokyo, which is going to be dropping September 27th. Now, they did have a worrying release in Japan only, which everybody thought like, damn, are they not going to be dropping worldwide? They should be. They should be having a global release this month. $215 retail. We have been over this pair of shoes, so again, I'm not going to go crazy into detail on it, but all you need to know, it's one of the most hyped sneakers that are going to be dropping this year. It's back a little bit closer to the sample pair with the little yellow on the toe box, which a lot of people like, some people don't like. They wanted the originals back. Either way, this is how they come. They're looking great. I don't think there's anything to complain about. Just the fact that we're getting this pair of shoes again is pretty cool. Either way, September 27th, don't forget it. But at number 1, of course, you know what freaking shoe is over here. The Travis Scott Fragment Air Jordan 1 Low, September 20th. For these bad boys. Now, we've got official images, we've got teased shots and stuff like that. I think the biggest question mark is like the freaking little weird lace thing that's on the toe box. Like, what even is this? Explain to me. It's like literally a fat little lace that you tie around the laces on the shoe. It's weird, but I don't know, there's got to be some kind of explanation behind it. Either way, they're looking clean, they're looking nice, but they are going to be pretty much impossible to get. There's hardly any pairs. It's going to be one of the most limited Travis Scott collaborations ever. And of course, it's insanely hyped up. You know, I don't need to tell you about the whole Travis Scott hype. Yeah, there you go. This is going to be dropping September 20th. Mark your calendars and fingers crossed, legs crossed, pray, all of the, you know, do some rituals, whatever you need to do. But those are the 10 best sneakers dropping in September. Let me know down in the comment section which one is your number 1 priority. I want to hear it. I want to have a read through. But moving on to some crazy news, we've got some crazy stuff. But let's start off with the AE2, which Adidas has been kind of showcasing recently. So just the other day, Anthony Edwards was on, I believe, his China tour. Was that where he kind of dropped this pair of shoes? Or I don't know, wherever. He was on stage somewhere in the world and he was wearing this pair of shoes and they announced a release date and what this colorway is called. So this is going to be the launch pair, the pink and orange one. It's called With Love. It's going to retail for $130 and it's dropping October the 4th this year. So we are getting the AE2 in 2025, which is interesting. And now everybody's speculating on like, has Adidas fallen off with the AE2? You know, we got the Nike Ja3s, we got the Shy Ones. Like, what are we going with? What's the best? All I gotta say is it's a very competitive space right now, and I do love those Ja3s. Now we also got a little look at an upcoming lime colorway. This is a 2026 drop, but this is a little bit more compelling. This is a colorway that I would spend that 130 on these things. That is dope. Now these are the only shots that we have, so just yeah, appreciate this with the black socks too. Yeah, this is a banger. I can imagine with this design that they can cook up some really cool colorways. Either way, April 2026, $130. I'm sure we'll see some more soon. Sticking with Adidas and their collaborations, Pharrell Jellyfish. What do we got in the pipeline? It looks like the green pair might be up next. So Pharrell was seen wearing these things. Very, very nice. It looks like they're literally just going to keep the colorway the same, just swap out the orange for different colors. Because we also got a little leaked image of a bunch of other ones that are also in the pipeline. We got a blue, and we got this gray one. I think we've seen a triple black one as well that Pusha T was wearing. Fingers fingers crossed we start to get more soon, and they are a lot easier to buy because this original colorway was just so insanely tough. And I would love to have these things, but there's no way I'm spending the resale price. There's just it's way too expensive. Either way, no release date on any of these, just hopefully during the full time like House of Heat is saying over here. Amine and New Balance just kind of debuted, or I guess showcased, their Absorb 2000 Biblioteca collaboration. These things glow in the dark, and it also opens the door for some really cool different ways that they can put like materials on the New Balance 2000. This one looks a lot more, I guess, fall winter inspired. Like you've got the trail ziplock laces, that's not the right term, whatever you call that locking lace system. It's not ziplock. Either way, it's cool, and they glow in the dark, which I think is a nice little addition as seen over here. Crazy colorway though. I don't know if I would wear patent leather green or shiny green, whatever's going on with these things, but it's not bad, and I do love the New Balance 2000 model. These are going to be dropping apparently October 3rd as of right now. We got a little bit of a closer look at the upcoming CPFM Nike Dunk pack that they're doing. They're calling this Swamp Sponge. It's an entire collection of like 3, 4, maybe even 5 different dunk lows. Hard to call them dunk lows because they're so crazy and different from like your standard dunk. But here's all the colors that they're dropping. We've got, I think, mismatch from left to right, where you've got like different materials. One's like extra furry, the other one's not. Same thing over here with the colors. Now, I do think we also have a green pair that we saw Travis Scott wearing, so that's also going to be added to the mix. But some of these latest shots, you can see the box that they're going to come in. It kind of looks like, I don't know, like a steel or aluminium box, but obviously it's going to be cardboard. It's just kind of, it looks like that. Here's a little look at all the toe boxes and the weird mesh material that they've thrown on here. And another shot, you can see a little bit more of that box. It looks all scuffed up. You got the little like hinges on the side. Interesting. We're going to see these drop fall 2025, no specific release date. This one's pretty interesting. Apparently Nike is going to be bringing back the Denim Kobe Bryant Air Force next year. So this is from 2006, I think the original release. Now they're going to be doing it a decade later, or 2 decades later rather. God, the time flies. So this is obviously a picture of the original, and we should be getting something exactly like this, or literally a remake 1-to-1. Maybe they'll make some changes, throw some like different Kobe details on it, but as of right now, that is all we have. Just some shots of the original, and apparently they're coming back next year at some point. $150 is the retail price, and let me know what you think about this. Pretty wild. They're really digging deep into the Kobe pockets now. Adidas is going to be dropping some Uggs. That is right. Apparently these are Ugg dupes. So they've got like the furry liner on the inside. I've got to say, I don't mind this, honestly. I do think that this one looks a little bit strange, but I do like the mule version. This could be pretty cool. You know, you got a comfy mule, but it also looks like a pair of Campus Double O's. Not bad. Really depends how comfortable they are. Apparently, these are going to be dropping in September. These are official images, so I don't know. Keep a lookout on the Adidas app if you like them. There's also this tan colorway, and there may even be a sneaky lawsuit from Uggs. Who knows? But by far, one of the biggest pieces of news from this week has been the fact that Nike just announced a pre-order system to the Nike SNKRS app. For anybody who missed this, this is a game changer. So the way that they kind of launched this was all surrounded by the Kobe 3 Protro release, and they actually tested this out with that drop. And that took place on Kobe Day, which was August the 24th. But this new Nike SNKRS app system is not just going to be for that release. It's something that they're going to be doing in the future for a lot of these like hyped up limited releases. They're basically deciding to go with a different method. So instead of entering for a pair of Travis Scott's that only has 20,000 pairs and crossing your fingers, this will allow you to pre-order the sneaker before Nike makes it, and they will ship it to you. So here's what they had to say about it. SNKRS Reserve is our pre-order program that allows you to order sneakers before they're made. This helps us make the best production decisions while providing you access to new exclusive products. Reserve and pay for your sneakers in advance, and we'll ship them to you once they're ready. They give a little detail on claiming the reservation. Reservations are limited, so act fast to pre-order the products you like. Your credit card will only be charged if your reservation is confirmed. 1 reservation per account while supplies last. So a great example was the Kobe's that they did on the 24th of this month. People who bought that pair of shoes can expect them to ship December 24th. Here's a little example of how you would enter for this. You would scan a QR code and it would allow you to just choose the sneaker that you want to pre-order, and that is it. No more waking up at 8 a.m. and entering on the Nike sneakers app and setting alarms and buying bots or paying for cook group or eventually paying resale once you take an L. This is insane. It's a crazy move from Nike because, I mean, it's pretty unprecedented. I mean, I know that they have kind of trialed this out with their Dot Swoosh program. A lot of those collaborations were pre-order. Stuff like the Artifact release, those were also pre-orders. And this is actually something that people have been asking Nike to do for a very long time. And now it seems like they're listening. Now, a couple caveats, or at least things to consider with this program. First one is obviously the wait time. Like, obviously for this Kobe release, it's like 5 months before they even ship your shoes. So that's kind of like what you can expect, 5 to 6 months before Nike ships them out. So long wait times. Now, another really good point, which I didn't even consider, but Sneaker News pointed this out, with only a certain number of pairs hitting the market and no surplus of product, this may influence the secondary market and long-term value of the product. With no certain number of pairs on the market, this will reduce the number of dead stock pairs post-launch, eventually leading to a higher demand. So less resell in like the first, like as soon as the drop happens, but potentially over time when people are like, damn, I wish I bought that pair of shoes, but obviously it's not going to be in circulation. It's not going to be discounted on Nike's website or anything like that. Like we've seen with a bunch of other releases, like, I mean, recently they just dropped the Cave Zone Jordan 4s. Those things are sat on the Nike website. If they did a pre-order, those would have got scooped up and then that's it. So it's interesting, but it does kind of, it makes sense, and it's going to be very, very interesting to see how this plays out. I would love to know from you guys, what do you think about this? Do you think the pre-order method is good, or would you rather just, you know, take a chance, enter a raffle, and fingers crossed? Final story for today. This one is so wild and crazy and outlandish that I thought we had to talk about it. Apparently, Travis Scott is moving to Adidas. That's right. So we got a bunch of these Instagram pages back at it again, saying, putting out this information. We're saying that apparently Travis Scott had a few meetings, or reportedly met with Adidas last week. Now, I don't know if they put their sources in here. Sometimes these things do turn out to be true, that these Instagram accounts post, but other times it's not. So take this with a grain of salt. But here's my opinion on this. Honestly, when I first saw this, I thought, it kind of makes sense. Let's just play devil's advocate for a minute. Let's just say this is true, and it turns out a week from now, all of the bigger pages like, you know, Complex and stuff like that are all talking about this, and it's confirmed. Travis Scott is moving to Adidas. It's hard to imagine because Travis Scott is so synonymous with Nike at this point, but at this point, doesn't it feel like the general populace are kind of feeling a little bit burnt out, or at least like the whole Travis Scott collaboration has become a little bit more stagnant? Like, he did the Jumpman Jacks and the Nike collab shoes, whatever those ones were called, the Jacks Trail ones. Those haven't been the greatest success. Now, he does still have the Jordan 1s, which are going crazy, but he's on like the freaking millionth pair of Jordan 1 lows. So it's like, does he potentially as a creator feel like, you know, I've kind of explored all of my, you know, design and creative things with Nike? Does he want to try something new, something different? I mean, we've seen it before with, like, you know, when Kanye West was at Nike, he wanted more creative freedom. He wanted to create new stuff. And with Adidas, he managed to design an entire new brand. Could that be something that Travis Scott is thinking in the back of his mind? I think he knows full well that he probably would never get that with Nike, but with Adidas, I mean, they've done it in the past, and Travis Scott is certainly more brand friendly. In fact, he's like one of the most brand friendly rappers on the planet. Everybody wants to collab with him. So it's not completely ridiculous, but it could be pretty insane if we actually saw this happen. But here's what the post says. It says, reports suggest Travis Scott recently met with Adidas, where the brand is rumored to have presented a significant footwear deal. With his 1-year Jordan extension set to expire soon, speculation is mounting. Could we be entering a new Travis Scott Adidas chapter? Grain of salt with this, grain of salt. However, I will just say it'll be interesting to see what Travis Scott does next. If this, you know, if his deal is running out, whether he will just extend it and continue doing the same stuff. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. Would you like to see Travis Scott Adidas, or you think he should stick with the checks. But that wraps it up for this week's episode of Sneaky Weeky, whatever the hell we calling this. Don't forget we do this every single Wednesday, and join me for Sneaky Sunday on, of course, Sunday. Subscribe to the channel so you can always stay in the loop, and of course, if you want to catch another episode, click the one in the top left-hand corner. It's a banger.